What's going on with this FedNow stuff, with the CBDC and all this stuff? So, like I said, there's some misunderstanding as far as FedNow. A lot of people are saying that's the CBDC. It's coming in July. It's not. FedNow is not the CBDC, but we'll get into that in a second. FedNow, right after the bank collapses that have been going on, Silvergate, Silicon Valley Bank, um, Signature Bank, and the merger with Credit Suisse and UBS. Right after this stuff started happening, the Federal Reserve came out and said they are launching FedNow in July. Now, it's important to understand this is not the CBDC. Basically, what FedNow will enable all financial institutions, tiny to giant, all of them, in the U.S. to have instant digital payment services, regardless of size or location, 24/7, 365. Now, a lot of people might be thinking, we have that now. We don't actually. That's why some of this stuff, when you see ACH transfers and stuff, sometimes it could take several days. Some banks, they have to verify it themselves in person, and if they're not open on the weekends, it could take, you put in something on Friday and it won't process or come in until Monday. This stuff, it's not all instant, but what they want to do is they want to make this instant, no matter the size, no matter the location in the United States, because it's for FedNow, obviously. And it's going to go 24/7, 365. Doesn't matter if it's a holiday or weekend, middle of the night, doesn't matter. It's going to do it. And so that's what this program is being used for. Using FedNow, you can send and receive payments any time of the day with access to funds instantly. While some entities like Visa and MasterCard have come up with like Band-Aid solutions similar to FedNow, this system will be put under the whole umbrella. So all financial institutions, credit cards, all these programs, they will all work under this program. You have to these institutions have to sign up for it, but guaranteed they're all gonna sign up for it eventually. That's gonna happen. We know it's gonna happen because when that one world currency comes into play, they're gonna have to be a part of it. So we know it's gonna happen eventually. So if you add in the fact with this FedNow program, you add in the fact that Swift is currently building the beta version of their CBDC connector, their Sandbox. They've done 2 recent tests with this. They did 2 rounds of testing, which 18 central banks and commercial banks sent through $5,000 worth of CBDC to CBDC transfers and CBDC to fiat transfers. Now, this is cross-border. So FedNow is just for the United States. What the Swift is working on is cross-border stuff. It's about CBDC to another CBDC. So if one country has one version and another country has another, it can do that. But it can also be if one country has CBDC and you're trying to transfer it to the other country's fiat, it's also doing that. They've done 2 rounds of testing, both successful, running very smooth. And now they're going out of the testing phase into a beta phase, which is still testing, but it's the next level of it, and they're going to do it. So if you take that Swift program and connect the FedNow service to it, you've got a beast of a global digital currency connector. You're going to start seeing this with more and more countries doing the same thing, all connecting up under the same umbrella. And so this is going to be the future of CBDC, where I've even talked about how a lot of people think there's going to be maybe one coin. Well, with this program, you could literally have every country have their own version of a CBDC, and they can all work as one currency under this type of blockchain technology. So it's something to keep in mind as far as that goes. I'm not saying that's what it's going to be. I'm just saying that is a possibility on this. Plus, we know that the Bank of International Settlements is heavily involved with connecting the world with central bank digital currencies. We've talked about this before. Now, the Bank of International Settlements General Manager Agustin Carstens spoke at the Monetary Authority of Singapore on February 22nd, so not too long ago, and called for a unified programmable ledger in a public-private partnership to verify CBDCs, tokenized deposits, and fast payment systems. Fast payment systems is your FedNow. So he's confirming what we were just talking about taking this program and hooking it up and connecting it to this unified programmable ledger. And we know programmable means we can put time limits on it, because we know China's doing that, where you have to spend the money by a certain amount of time, otherwise it disappears. So there's going to be no saving up money. You can only spend it on these items. This is a part of the mark of the beast where you won't be able to buy or sell without it. This is rolling right into that. So this is just more confirmation of what we know in prophecy, what we know in Revelation. This is what's coming. And FedNow is going to plug right in. It's just going to be a plug-in. He then calls for bringing all those systems together under one unified digital ledger. Keep in mind, when he said public-private partnership, that means connecting all private finance to government finance. That way it gives them full control. So you're talking about your bank account, if you have CashApp or something like that, talking about that and literally connecting it to the central bank ledger as well. That's your private and public partnership, combining it all together. So he's just confirming that you won't have any private finance anymore. It's going to be hooked up to Big Daddy Beast when this comes rolling in. Big Daddy Beast. I should hang on to that. That's a good one. I just patted myself on the back. Don't judge me. Don't judge me, but I did. So that's what's going on with FedNow. So I want to make sure everybody understands FedNow is not a CBDC. It is a fast payment system that will be a foundational piece to a CBDC. So if they're going to launch that in July, we know things are getting very close. And it's also very important to understand a CBDC can't function without a digital ID wallet. It needs a digital wallet to work properly. So that's going to need to come first before they actually release it. Now, that doesn't mean they can't release a wholesale version of a CBDC. There's two versions of a CBDC. I want to make sure everybody knows this too. There's two versions. There's the wholesale version, which that's what the central bank digital currencies, or that's what the central banks will use for that stuff. Then there's the retail version, which is what we would get and that we would spend at like the store or shopping and stuff like that. That's the retail version. So it's important to understand that. The retail version needs a digital ID. The wholesale can function without it. So that's important to understand as well.